Welcome to the Total Acre Podcast. I'm your host, C.R. Siebold. This podcast is all about helping growers unlock their potential. We aim to bring listeners agronomic insights, valuable educational interviews, real-world strategies that optimize yield and maximize ROI. This show is going to explore innovative practices, creative strategies, and breakthrough products with people that are shaping the industry, all through engaging and inspiring stories. Who better to learn from than the legendary world champion David Hula, Randy Dowdy, and Alex Harrell? Because in farming and in life, iron always sharpens iron. And the best way to grow or get better is to continually be learning, networking with peers, have access to industry leaders, and the tools, tips, and tricks, and overall quality of information. Knowledge is power. Tune in, hit play. Let's unlock your farm's potential together. Hey, Chad Siebold here with Total Acre Podcast. Excited today. We're in, I was gonna call it sunny Denver. It was a couple days ago.
It was.
It's more like blizzardy, or gonna be blizzardy.
Yeah.
Denver, Colorado. Commodity Classic 2025 with Corey Hill with TALC USA. Gonna be fun to talk about opportunities still yet this year to get some stuff in the field.
Yes.
Talk about results, and then I want to know the company history. I think there's some really cool stuff out there for folks that are even using the product, and how did it get started, all that kind of fun stuff. So we're gonna talk about that today. Is that cool?
That's awesome.
All right,
Love
man.
to talk about that.
So I know that 15, 16 years ago is when this thing started up. How did it get started?
Yeah, so Steve Johnson, farmer out of Page, North Dakota, had learned that primarily all the talc coming in at that time was coming from China and India. He thought the American farmer would want an all-American product, and so he was able to source talc out of a location here in the United States, and we pride ourselves even to this day to make sure everything that we put into our buckets or our pails is all American made.
Out there, it's all U.S.
That's
I
correct.
can't wait to talk about some of those too, the Homeland and some of the other products. But when it started, you obviously seen something, right? Because I think back 16 years ago, you'd go to the dealership where you were buying your planter. Usually you'd buy some John Deere talc or graphite, right? And you're just dropping it in the planter. So he's seen the problem 16 years ago, developed.
That's
what
correct.
was, I think there was a Surge product. You called it something Surge.
Yeah.
That was one of the first products, right?
Yeah, MicroSurge was, actually Steve had the idea that at that time in the industry, everybody was chasing liquid to treat seeds with, and they wanted to pre-treat seed, push it downstream, force the farmer to pay for it. Steve had a concept that the American farmer would want to make some choices, and so he began to search for technology to be able to deliver microbiology through planter box treatments, and he was able to discover shield technology with our MicroSurge products that enabled us to be able to pre-mix them with the talc and have a shelf life to them, and deliver more live microbes to the soil.
Corey, I think it's cool too, because I know a little bit, enough to be dangerous, but I'm pretty sure Steve used to be a buddy or a customer of yours, and heck, you've been around 16 years within that business as well, right? So you kind of been there since inception.
Yeah, so Steve and I knew each other prior to him starting the company, and once he started it up, joined forces with him and helped him build this company, and he's just built an incredible business. He's a real entrepreneur and has a great mind for business, but really essentially was built around the concept of giving people choices.
Sure.
Letting them pick and choose the technologies they wanted to use. And
well, Corey, I mean, if you've been involved as a CEO now, if you've been involved since inception, you know that it's all about listening to the producer, seeing a problem, listening to the producers. How do we evolve that product over time? So when you started with MicroSurge all the way to where you are today, it's wild to see the progression and that evolution. What do you attribute that to, other than listening to producers and being willing to change products and maneuver?
I really attribute it to the success of our products. Our products perform consistently for producers. We pride ourselves in choosing raw ingredients that are the highest grade in the industry. We have essentially, like in our 80/20, we have a premium grade talc, the highest industrial grade talc you can purchase. And then we also have a slicker graphite that does a better job of lubricating metal parts within the meters. And when you put quality products in people's hands that perform, they continue to come back and they tell others about it, and that's really what's helped us gain traction in this industry.
So high quality products start with high quality inputs, which also I'm going to call it repeatability, consistency, right? Yeah. So listen, Corey, if I have the product and it works once and works pretty good, and that lubricity's there, and things aren't gelling up or clogging up on me, probably going to try it again the next year, So over the last 16 years, when you look at customers, and I've seen the growth,
Yep.
Firsthand, it's a testament to what you're doing in the marketplace. How do you maintain consistency when you're delivering a product year after year to a producer?
Yeah, I'd say one of the big things we really pride ourselves on is customer service and taking care of our dealers and their customers, and then helping their customers for our dealers. We go out and do root digs with them, show them what's happening in their operation so they can see the results that they should be expecting to see, and then education piece to it too, helping educate them on abilities to use new technologies to enhance their yields, and that's what's everybody's after. And then if you have a good ROI there, then that's attractive to people.
Sure. Page, North Dakota is where things were originally produced. Are they still produced in Page, or what's that look like today?
Yeah, that's a great question. So Brandt purchased us about 3 years ago now, and they're a company out of Springfield, Illinois that specializes in quality products as well, family owned. It's been a seamless marriage, the two companies together, two privately owned companies that merged together. And when we did that, then we moved our manufacturing facility from Page, Illinois last year to Kern, Illinois, which is close to Springfield, and built a state-of-the-art facility there where we can produce 1.5 million acres of product a day.
Wow.
And it's one of the state-of-the-art facilities in the United States for a dry mixing system.
That's pretty cool. Look at that. Again, we talk about the evolution of the product, but then look at the delivery and how you're producing it, right? Talking about delivery systems now, right? With a powerful partner like Brandt, now you can actually provide a full system solution. You talk about the boxes, right?
Yeah.
So now you have that full delivery system, right? So talk a little bit about like Homeland, for example.
Yeah, so Homeland is a product that we've evolved into, where it's an all pre-mixed product that's going to have your talc, your graphite. It's going to have 5 different micronutrients in there. It's got a higher package for zinc and a higher package of moly for soybeans. And then it also has microbiology in there. So we have azospirillum that actually fix atmospheric nitrogen, feed more nitrogen to the plant. It increases your root structure, your plant health. And then we have a phosphorus microbe that mobilizes phosphorus and breaks it down in our Corn Complete. And then we also have Brandt's enzyme technology in the Corn Complete as well. So we're able to deliver lots of options to producers. This year we launched a couple of new products called Micro and Nutra, which is just your 80-20 with 5 different micronutrients. The Micro has a bigger package of zinc in there, and the Nutra has a bigger slug of moly in there. And they still have the 5 different micronutrients that are encapsulated with Brandt's technology. And but it gives producers a chance to move from that $1 an acre range with an 80-20 to a $5 or $6 an acre range, and get some nutrition to that plant and still get that seamless uniform seed spacing that everybody's after, with better emergence, plant health, gets the plants off to a quicker, healthier start.
And that's exactly where I was going to go next, right? So that's when you look at total acre, right? You look at the opportunity, obviously yield champions. But we look at the opportunity now in unlocking potential in a producer's farm, right? And if you look at the opportunity to be able to replace something like a traditional 80-20, right? With a higher quality, with a delivery system like a Homeland. I know there's a few other options out there. Now all of a sudden you can unlock some certain things that you maybe didn't have access to, or maybe you were making that application in season with a post or whatever. Now you can do that delivery up front. Getting a good start, right? And you'll hear David and Randy talking about, for sure, planter. This is a great piece to be able to actually come into play. I know planters are about ready to roll. When we look at distribution, how folks get a hold of the product today, you talk about part of the Brandt network. Where do you guys get a hold of talc products? Excuse me.
That's one of the great things is with the marriage of the two companies is you can get any TALC USA products with any Brandt dealer or TALC USA dealer that's out there, and vice versa. You can get any Brandt products from any TALC USA or Brandt dealer that's out there. And so we have a very well-established dealer network out there in all the areas of the United States, and so you don't have to look very hard to find access to the product.
Which is right. We talk about a great product, but unless you have that support mechanism that can go out and obviously sell that product, support that product. I want to talk a little bit about results, and I know you're working with Brian on some opportunities to do some trials this year with Total Acre, but your trial network over the last 16 years is ridiculous, right? You've done a lot of work, and the proven nature of what some of these products have brought. I know you're always building new products, and and I've said evolution a couple different times, but from that first product, that micro surge, all the way into homeland and the next iteration of your products. Couldn't probably do it without obviously the growers, but the dealer network you have is obviously pretty strong as well.
Absolutely. We work with our dealers, but we do a lot of testing individually with private test stations, universities, and then dealer networks, and where we do farm trials. And being a farmer-owned company, that was really important to Steve, that products performed before we took them to market. And I was a marketing guy, and I was always ready to run to market with products, especially when I saw them performing. But he was the one that always held back and made sure that we saw consistent results before we took products to market, that were going to be effective products, because he experienced that in his own operation. Everybody's got something new for you to try, and you don't know the data that's behind it. And we really pride ourselves in the research that we do, and the volume of research that we have before we take a product to market.
You've really saturated the market. There's been a lot of people over the last 16 years that have made that transition, probably because of that marketing, right? Because listen, that USA, come on now, TALC USA, that red, white, and blue, you've done a really good job there. But obviously, it's more than just marketing; it's performance. And what's next? If you're looking down the line, what's next in your crystal ball? What are you guys looking at?
Well, that's an interesting question, because we're doing business in Brazil right now, and the one thing I learned from Brazil was that 98% of farmers and producers in Brazil already use this technology. Here in the United States, it's less than 20%. And so I think it's market awareness for producers to understand how these products work. And then as a producer themselves, they need to ask questions. If you're buying a microbial product, you need to know what's in there. Why is it in there? What's it in there for? And then do you have research and data to show us that performance on a consistent basis through multiple states and regions?
So maybe talk a little bit about that, because that is what we talk about within Total Acre, is access to information. That's why you're here today, right? Yep. Providing information. But for producers that are out there searching, I think there's a lot of opportunities there to educate. You guys do that through your website, literature, and other things, but you're not afraid to go out there and do trials, which is awesome. Yep. Making adjustments in season, what Total Acre is about, right?
Yes.
We look at products and opportunities to build new products. Obviously, you're in 5 countries.
Yeah, 5 countries around the world, and
you're on a lot of acres.
Yep.
Getting resting on our laurels, just being confident that we got the product. There's a lot of competition around. What's next on that horizon from a product standpoint?
Yeah, so Brandt's
talk about it.
Brandt's coming out with some new technologies. They've just at Commodity Classic here, we're launching a new line of adjuvants. These are the most advanced adjuvants in the industry. Up to date today, no new adjuvant or surfactant's been launched into the market space in 20 years. And we have some trademark technology that we're bringing out that does a better job of reducing the micron size of your spray, keeping it in that sweet spot of 250 to 500 microns.
Yep.
So that you get better absorption, you get better translocation of the sugars within the weed and the plant, and then also have a better tank mix and stability in the tank for a longer period of time. And so we really view this as some new technology that's really going to help producers in controlling their weeds and be able to do a better job of the hard chemistry that they're currently using. And we're really excited about this new product line.
That'd be cool, yeah, because now all of a sudden the efficacy of the products you're applying, now we can see a little better kill, or a little bit better with our fungicide as far as strength and endurance. When you look at where TALC's at, it's been where it came from. It's pretty cool, right, from a farmer owned to where it is today. When you have the brand backing, that's pretty cool from a marketing standpoint. I know that's not the realm you play in, but I got to say, Nebraska is where I think you're building those adjuvants, right? In the great state of Nebraska. So, big shout out to the Husker State.
Yeah, so I'm formerly from Nebraska. I grew up in Nebraska and played football and went to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. And it's a great state, one that I hold near and dear to my heart. But we did build a new manufacturing facility in Aurora, Nebraska. To my knowledge, it's the most technically advanced manufacturing facility with high-speed blenders, and they can load 4 tanker loads at a time indoors, and it's pretty incredible facility, over 100,000 square feet. Made a big investment into making sure that we can get products to producers more economically, and it really rounded out our manufacturing facilities. So
It's a big
we're
deal
excited
for sure,
about
right?
that.
And I think back to the TALC USA conversation, being able to deliver that product through your dealer network. But we were kind of laughing offline too with when you move that production from North Dakota into to Springfield or just outside.
Kern,
Thank you. The production capabilities went infinitely higher. And now, what was the production number? It was like daily.
Yeah, we can produce 1.5 million acres a day. We've already generated over 40 million acres of product through that plant since we opened in August of last year.
It's awesome.
And the demand has been so popular that we're actually already have started a 27,000 foot expansion to our facility there, and have plans to even expand it even further than that.
Certainly a testament to if the product works, customers will come back if you have to expand out the facility. So we're excited. Thanks for coming in today. I do want you to leave me with the one thing. As you look at 25, what's the one thing you're excited about? It can be about TALC USA, just the marketplace. What are you excited about as we look ahead?
Yeah, I'd say the thing I'm most excited about is we are developing a new alfalfa product, and that alfalfa product, alfalfa is the number 3 cash crop in the United States, and we in tests last year saw some really great results. But ultimately, I would say get your hands on a step up from 80/20. Try the Micra, the Nutra, the Ends Up Seed Flow Zinc. Get some nutrition to that plant so you can see by getting quicker, healthier plants with better emergence what that does to help increase your yields. And then if you're somebody that really believes in the technology, then step up to the Homeland. You got Homeland Corn Complete, and Homeland Soybean. And those products are performing on a consistent basis. And those are products that are really going to help you in your operation, because Total Acre talks about it all the time. Emergence is key,
Sure.
And then singularity is key in soybeans, and that's what our products do, is they help with both of those issues.
Well, if folks didn't know about TALC USA, I'm surprised if they didn't, right? But if they didn't know, thanks for uncovering some of the history, because I think that's cool, knowing where companies, especially farmer-owned, and some of the marketing stuff was cool. Obviously, it takes some time to come over here and spend it with us. I appreciate that. From a Total Acre standpoint, we're always looking at ways to unlock potential. You've been a great partner. We're looking forward to working with you in 25. Thanks for coming in today.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys as well, and really believe in what your organization's doing for American farmers. And I encourage those that are out there that aren't part of it to join and become a part, because it is an effective program to help them.
Appreciate that. Thanks, Corey.
Yep,
appreciate
thank you.
In.
Yep.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in today to this episode of the Total Acre Podcast. Hey, if you enjoyed it, you liked the conversation, be sure to subscribe. You know the drill. Spotify, Apple, YouTube. Go give us a click, give us a like. Until next time, though, keep pushing forward. We hope that you found something unique, something powerful here that might help you unlock your farm's potential. We look forward to seeing you next week. Be safe. Talk more here soon on the next Total Acre Podcast.